Welcome back to the channel, fellow aviators. I am excited to be back with you for this episode. I would like to apologize for the lack of consistent content over the last 6 weeks or so. Some of it has been by design and some not. As winter was approaching here in the Northeast, Mrs. A320 and I decided to go out and do a lot of the things we're not going to be able to do. Some outdoor dining, some of that stuff. Had a birthday, another year older, and some of the issues have been, like I said, unplanned. I went to record last weekend and I noticed it was a little chilly in the house. And when I turned the furnace on, nothing happened. So $12,000 later, I have a brand new furnace coming to the house. And the previous week, I had went to do a video with the Comanche, as I mentioned, and I just could not get Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 working correctly. I'm not sure if it's an issue with the Comanche or I had some weird bug. So I ended up deleting and reinstalling Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and it ended up just taking the entire day, and I just couldn't get anything out. But if you've been watching me from the very beginning, I really enjoy this series. With around 5,000 hours dual given as a flight instructor, I'm using this series to do a lot of teaching. And over the last maybe couple episodes, I've turned this series more into some showcases on some planes, and we'll probably continue to do that. But before we get started, I wanted just to look back and see what we're doing here. And right now we have almost $500,000 in the bank. We have one AI pilot. They're not tremendously expensive to maintain. I don't spend a lot of time with him. Maybe, as I think I mentioned before, maybe every day or every other day, I'll send him out to do a flight, pick up an extra $10,000, $12,000 on a flight. But I don't want to turn this series into a management simulation. So I don't spend a whole lot of time with him, but we still have a little bit of money in the account. And I think I'm going to move us along a little bit. I really wanted to deal with the Comanche, but as I mentioned I had some real issues. I lost all my bindings, and then I set up. It was just a disaster trying to get the Comanche to work, and I don't know what happened. Just kind of happened out of the blue. So I think what we're going to do today is let's move on a little bit. Let's move into the twins. So I think the very first thing we're going to want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and sell the Comanche. It's actually a better plane on paper than the 182 that my AI pilot is flying, but he's out in the middle of the country. I don't know, out in Kansas or Nebraska or something I have no idea where he's at. We could probably even find him. I'm not sure. See where he's out in the middle of the country, and I don't want to go through the process of trying to get the plane swapped around. So he'll just stay in that one for now. Eventually, at some point, maybe I'll start bringing him back towards the West Coast, or maybe off camera. I don't know. We'll see what we're going to do with him. If he actually has been getting, if we come down here and we hover right over his picture, you see that he's got up to 580 XP. So he is slowly making his way up to the next level, which will open up some other job opportunities for him. So like I said, I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time trying to develop, especially in this series, a AI or an airline. But I do want to continue to teach and kind of move the process along. So I think this is a great time to move us into a twin aircraft. So let's come back to here. So we're going to go ahead and sell the Comanche, and then we're going to pick up a brand new twin engine aircraft. I had planned on actually using the A2A Aerostar 600. As you all know, I'm a big fan of A2A Studios, but this week, Black Square dropped their professional series, which includes the Bonanza and the Baron. So I think we're going to start off with the Baron. It's a great aircraft. I'm sure some of you are probably maybe on the fence about buying it, so this would be a great opportunity to showcase it. So let's come over here, and then we will go ahead and sell this aircraft for $193,000. Yep, let's just go ahead and get rid of it. Now we'll come down to the aircraft tab, and let's just search for Baron. If you guys are doing this, you have to make sure that you go into, let me just show you really quickly. I've done it. Come into, I believe, settings. And if you've installed the Baron, it's in the NeoFly system, but you still have to activate it. So we can type Baron. For some reason, it is super slow. I think I've already misspelled it. Yep. It is ridiculously slow here. All right, so if you just type in Baron, you can see on the left-hand side, we have the Coronado Baron, which I don't own, but we have the Black Square 58 Professional and the Black Square 58 TC Professional, which stands for turbocharged. And so you're going to have to make sure you click those specifically. At the very top, you see Black Square Baron 58. That is going to be the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 version. So make sure if you pick this up and you want to throw it into your series, make sure you come down here to the settings, type in Baron, and make sure you've blue check marked the Professional series. Okay? So we have now, so it's in our system. So let's go ahead and come to the Aircraft tab. And let's see, we got Baron here. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so we have a bunch of Barons here. We have the Asobo Baron, we have the Coronado Barons, and at the very bottom we see the Black Square Baron 58 Professional. So I would like to purchase the aircraft, and so we're going to be down in this category. See, they're all Category B, and let's see if we can get, well, we have a turbocharged here that we can purchase for $714,000. And what do we have here? $678. All right, so we are going to have to take a loan. So we'll come up to finances, and since we are the level 2 or 2 chevrons right there, we'll go ahead and grab that loan. 500,000. Yep, we'll take it. Come back to aircraft again. And we will take this one right here. Is that the one we want? I don't know. You take a look. If we take a look at it, it's engine's good, airframe. So we got 50% fuel. We don't care about that. We look at the airframe. It's at 20%. We do have enough cash. We could probably get that fixed up if we knew to. We don't want to rent anything. At least I do not want to. We could get this one here. Looks like it's in really good, well, the engine's not in great shape, right? And the turbocharge will allow us to get a little bit higher and a little bit faster. So I think I want the turbocharged version, and the only option I really have is going to be this one right here. So let's go ahead and buy it. All right, so it's been added to my hangar. So let's come back up to the hangar, and here is where we can repair the engine. So let's see what it would take to fully repair it. No, $80,000. We can bring it up to 100%. Let's do that. And we'll do the same for the engine. Another 6,000 there. So now we should have a fully repaired aircraft. That wasn't too bad. And we're still left with 420,000. Let's go ahead and assign a pilot. Actually, we're going to need to bring this aircraft to the pilot location, so let's do that immediately. $5,000. Oh, and as you see right here, no pilot with qualification B available at Modesto. So what we need to do is take a check ride, which is what we're going to do in this episode. So if we come over to the qualifications section right here, we can see we only have a Category A, which is a piston single, and we need to move up to a twin engine aircraft. I think one of the issues with NeoFly that I don't particularly like is it doesn't allow you to take the check ride in the aircraft you would like to take a check ride. So as you see, we only have a couple options. The very first one here is a DC-3, which we don't necessarily want to do. Another DC-3, the Grumman Goose, another seaplane, got the DA-62, scientific research, and the Asobo Beechcraft Baron. I am not a fan of the Asobo Baron at all. Especially when we get into the 58, you're going to see just the quality difference. The Asobo Baron has two nice Garmin 1000s, and as you have seen it throughout this series, our last couple planes, we've had some kind of quirky autopilot. So the nice Garmin 1000 autopilot system is really nice, but other than that, it is really stripped down. Like it says in the checklist to check fuel flow, you can't do it. And so what I think we'll do is just take our Checkride here in the standard Asobo DA62. I think I've flown it once or twice early on in this channel at some point. I don't remember it being a particularly bad aircraft. The thing I remember about it is it had really, really bad views on the interior. But we're only going to use this aircraft for one flight. And so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time. We're going to go through the Checkride so you can see what it's about. I'm assuming it's going to be very similar to the single engine one, where you're going to be rated completely on how smooth you can touch down, right? Matter of fact, actually it says, we look right down below, it says mandatory to fly multi-propeller airplanes. Score stars depends on the touch and go feet per minute. All right, and the reason this is important, just a reminder, if we come up here, we can see reward will be based on the number of stars you are awarded, and so the better we do, the more reward we get, right? So let's go ahead and we'll take the qualification test. And the DA62 passengers has been reserved for you at 36 Charlie November with the qualification test preloaded. So go to 36 Charlie November and assign your pilot to the aircraft. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is fire up the simulator. As you see on the upper right side over here, I do not have the simulator connected. So let me fire up the simulator. We will get going. And we'll just go through the Checkride really quickly. And before we get started, once again, I know I said that, I haven't mentioned it today, but I appreciate all the support the channel's been getting recently. The channel's been growing. So once again, if you find value in this series and in this episode, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. It really does help out the channel. As always, posted down below in the description will be a link to my Discord. Still very, very small, but the goal is over time, hopefully we'll get a good community going. And other than that, let me rejoin you kind of out on the flight line, and we will get this episode underway. All right, see you all in just a second. All right, everybody, a quick change of plans. I don't know what's going on with the DA62. I have tried to do the Checkride 3 times, and what ends up happening as I take off, all the fuel just drains out of the aircraft. Like, you can literally watch the fuel dripping out of the tank on the EFB. You can't really replace it fast enough. So I guess this is a great learning opportunity because I can show you what to do if this happens to you. So what you want to do is come over to the hangar icon. We're going to come down to the very bottom and just go ahead and delete that job. Now we can come back into our qualifications. We'll select it and we'll just use the Beechcraft Baron. I think that's the only thing we can do. I didn't really want to use this plane, but I guess it'll give us a good opportunity to highlight the difference between this stock Asobo and the Baron Professional by Black Square. So we'll once again select it. And also we can talk about real quickly, if we come up to the main page, we can see it's located at 49 Charlie Lima. Where am I at? I might probably still be at Modesto. Let's see where I'm at. Oh, 36 Charlie November, because I had moved myself out there. So this is what you're going to want to do. Let's just confirm it's 49 Charlie Lima. We'll select there and we'll put in 49 Charlie Lima. Alaska's we want to move. Cost us $1,700. We do. If we come back to the main page now, we can assign ourselves to the plane. All right, so what we're going to do here, once again, real quickly, I'm just going to meet you out on the runway, prepped and ready to go so we can get this episode underway. All right, see you hopefully in just a few seconds. All right, everybody. I think we are all set and ready to go. We got our first notch of flaps in. We have 1,300 feet, which is 1,000 feet AGL. We've synced up our heading. If we look at the left side of the PFD over there, we can see the nice thing about the Garmin 1000 is it gives us all of our speeds. So we got a rotation speed of 85, VX92, VY 105. All right, and we have an airspeed pre-selected for about 130 knots, so we should just be able to take off straight ahead and engage the autopilot. All right, so let's get after it. I am looking forward to resuming this series in earnest, and I'm definitely looking forward to showing you guys the Baron Professional. All right. Positive rate.
We are now in the air. Remember that here at
Gear up.
NeoFly, we have to take care of our cargo and passengers.
And
don't bank or pitch too much for the entire flight.
Flaps
now,
up.
Climb to 1,000 feet AGL.
We'll just kind of hold like a 10 degree or so positive pitch angle. So we come up on our speed, and now we can engage the autopilot. All right, confirm our flaps are up. They are up. And our gear is up. All right, we are on our way. All right, 800 for 1,300. All right, the alt's up there tells us it's going to capture, which is good.
Now do a U-turn. Remember to watch your bank angle.
All right, so the nice thing here using my Honeycomb Bravo, got all of our controls in here, so let's go. Get that turn started. I'm just going to pull back a little bit on the power here. I don't need to haul and butt all the way through the traffic pattern. I'm just going to get further and further away from the airport.
Now climb to 3,000 feet AGL. Maintain the same heading.
All right, let's go 3,000 feet. So that should be 3,300. Then I will use vertical speed mode. Actually, that is airspeed. Let's go vertical speed. 1,000. Pop us right up there. And we'll put our power back in so we don't decelerate too much during the climb. With these runways that they're really small, so it's gonna have a hard time picking it back up on the way back in. Hopefully we can use our nav source and get ourselves back in the road. We will see how that works. It's been such a long time. I used to know how to work the 1000 really well. We've been using a bunch of quirky autopilots like the 182 and the Comanche. All right, just a quick check down below. We see heading, autopilot, vertical speed 1,000, and then ALTS in white. So that lets us know that the mode has been selected, but it is not engaged yet. So we're going to look for that to turn green. There we go, 1,000 feet to go. It flashes. So 23 climbing 33. right, so hopefully we should get ALTS here in just a moment. We got a flashing 33. There we go, ALTS, so that should level us off.
Now, fly a complete circle and maintain the exact same altitude.
All right, we'll come back the other way this time. So let's make a right turn. We'll just use our autopilot. Let's make our life easy. And once again, I'm just going to pull back on our power just a little bit. We don't need to haul ass away from the airport. Don't want to get too far ahead with my heading bug. It may reverse course on us, and that would be a problem. If you're a real hero, you can do this all hand flying, but I am not. Let's use all the automation we can. Mostly because I don't want to look like a dumbass. All right, continuing all the way around. Should be roughly 360 degrees.
Now go back to the departure airport. Align with the runway and do a touch and go. A landing vertical speed of more than minus 400 feet per minute will not allow you to pass the qualification.
All right, so need a nice smooth landing. All right, so let's come down here. Let's take a look down here. And what we can do is set up procedure. It's been a long time since I've done this. We'll select the approach. We want the visual on 3-1. Enter. We want straight. Enter. Enter, enter. Activate. One more time. And what we can do immediately is go to nav. So we got GPS, autopilot, alt, 3300, and we can probably start heading down a little bit. So let's choose a lower altitude. We can see if actually we can. Oh yeah, we're way above it. We're way above it. So we will come down and choose vertical speed. So we're really high above it right now. What we could do is, how far do we have to go? 1 mile. We've only got 3 miles to get down 3,000 feet. That's going to be a little bit tight. So you know what I'm going to do is I am going to sync up our heading right there, and I am going to make another 360. And then we can level off here at like 2,000 feet or so, and we'll come all the way around. And what that'll do is it'll just give us a little bit more space so we don't get too jammed up. You see we're already coming in right around the final approach course there. So we'll just bring it all the way around. We'll re-engage the nav one more time. Looking over at the right PFD there, we'll just kind of use this heading right here. And as we kind of get back up to where we re-engaged it, that should hopefully give us a little bit more time. Give ourselves a little more time there as we come there up on the top there. We'll go ahead and start our turn again. We were going to have to do a lot in terms of trying to slow ourselves down and get down simultaneously. So I think this is probably a little bit better of a plan for us. And now we can hit nav. Sync up our heading right there. Then we'll put on glide path or approach, and then that should help us fly the actual approach. So now it's taken over our vertical component. We've got our lateral component locked in. We'll dial our missed approach altitude around 1,300 feet or so for the traffic patterns. I think we'll do the missed approach and then, or the touch and go, and then we'll have us go back around one more time. So the Garmin 1000 is a great series of really gives us a lot of awareness. You can see right here on our main PFD, those magenta boxes. Showing the glide path that's trying to keep us in, so it gives us a lot of good representation. The white box is what I've selected, which is 1,300 feet, so we're going to blow right through those here in just a second. And now we can just start pulling out our power a little bit. Start getting our airspeed under control. So this is a real neat feature of the 1000. If you haven't seen a lot of my other series, especially in on air where I was using the 1000 a lot, the great thing about this box is that it allows us to set up a visual approach with glide path anywhere there's an airport. So we don't have to worry about an ILS. Now what it's not going to do for us is it's not going to give us a terrain separation. Right, so if you're trying to do it at night in hilly terrain, you'll fly yourself right into a mountain. Let's put in our first notch of flaps. And we'll drop gear, and we're going to look for 500. I think we're going to try to hold right around 100 knots or so. Becomes very useful though in some of these small little airports out here where there's not going to be a set procedure. Let's bring our second notch of flaps. We will kick off We do have a lot of runway here, so gonna hold that. Yeah. It's me trying to be extra.
Well done. You can now fly a traffic pattern and do your final landing.
All right. Well, that was probably not the way to do that if you would like to in reality, but I was looking for that super smooth landing. So, all right, let's get our first notch of flaps up. Shh, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. No, we're not. We're not stalling. And we'll just try to level off here around, I don't know, 1,300 feet or so. We're just going to kind of do the exact same thing. We're not going to bring it all the way around, but I'll give myself a little bit more space this time. Again. All right, so we got our first notch of flaps are in. We'll just confirm there. That looks good. And I'm just looking right over there where it says final. If we look at the PFD, we actually even get a glide path representation, almost like an ILS. You can see we're just underneath it according to I wonder if it'll let us fly the approach again. Nope, let's go autopilot back on. It's not letting us re-engage the autopilot. That's okay. I can just use this as a reference. Let's go ahead and get our gear down. This time, let's not bring down our speed too quickly here.
Stall.
Does not like it below 90.
Stall. 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 Stall.
Well done. Now taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
All right, let's see how we did. One thing I've noticed immediately between the professional and this version is just the taxiing. It's very stiff. Turn radius kind of sucks. All right, everyone, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you're enjoying this series, like I said, I tend to use this a little bit of teaching. I just didn't want to get too in depth with these systems. It's not really, like, I don't know, I've had a low voltage alarm the entire time I've flown this. I don't know why. My alternators are on. Put it right in here towards the fuel box. Hopefully that's far enough off the runway for it to work. All right, let's go ahead and set our parking brake. And
Congratulations. You passed your qualification. Have a nice day.
turn everything off. All right, let's log in and see how we did for our Checkride. All right, let's see what we did. Let's go over here to qualifications, and we got 2 stars. Man, I really thought I was going to get 3. I thought I touched down so smooth. All right, so we got 2 stars, which means we can now come up here. And what we want to do here is the aircraft is in Modesto. So we will, once again, here. Modesto, let's move our pilot. Yep. Now we can put him in the aircraft, and now we are allowed to pick up some flights. All right, so that's where we're leaving this episode off. I'm going to need to probably make some readjustments in terms of total distance here so we can make ourselves a little bit more money. But once again, everyone, thanks for joining me today, just to hopefully demonstrate how to do the multi-engine Checkride, even if I probably scared the bejesus out of both you and me as I was getting that stall indication the entire time on the way down. And then I think I probably did the go around with, I don't know, a couple hundred feet of runway to spare. So, all right. So once again, everyone, thank you for the support. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take care for now. Bye.